Hello, welcome to another episode of Nostalgic Nerdery. Today, 40K, talking about the Lord's Discordant, a new HQ choice for Chaos Space Marines. This guy, he was looking pretty good. Look at the model first. Model looks pretty nice. Very well sculpted, very well put together, I believe. Painted up nicely for these pictures. Say what you want to about past models. Say what you know about Finecast. 40K itself, game rules. Newer models look pretty good. Newer models look pretty good. Older ones, some of those ones look pretty good too. But, newer ones really look nice. You got this chain glaive. You got a top turret type weapon. You got this mechanical mounted tendrils coming off of them. Looking pretty nice. Let's move to the rules. Aura of Discord. Comes in two parts. First part, subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made by vehicle units while they're within 6 inches of enemy models with this ability. Alright, a lot of games may not mean much. Some games it might, though. If your opponent's running, Dreadnoughts, Hellbrutes, whatever. If you're opposing Chaos Faction, they're running some Demon Engines themselves. There's a Knight on the table. But, 6 inches, pretty small area there. But the money part, the second part here is the money. In addition, add 1 to the hit rolls for attacks made by Legion Demon Engine units while they're within 6 inches of any friendly Legion models with this ability. Oh boy. So, Defilers. +1 to hit Defilers. So, Ballistic Skill 3, Weapon Skill 3 Defilers. That sounds pretty nice to me. That brings Demon Engines up to where I've always felt they kind of needed to be. The BS4, Weapon Skill 4 has always been lackluster. Always, I think, holding them back from being... I don't want them to be overpowered, but they just have never played well for me, So this will bring Defilers up probably to where they need to be. This will bring Forge Fiends. That's probably the biggest key I've already, wanting to look at is Forge Fiends with Hades cannons, So 3s to hit, Strength 8, 8 shots, AP 1, 2 damage. Sounds pretty good. Sounds like that should do some work. We'll just have to, actually put it on table. I'm curious to see how, also against, or how that would work with the ectoplasm cannons. Shorter range, less attacks, better AP though. Since, Forge Fiends don't get Legion bonus, you can't try to ignore cover with them. So the AP might be the better choice. Or, a mixture of the two. But either way, Demon Engines are getting a big buff. You'll see a lot more of them on the table with this guy. Mauler Fiends, running up in melee with Mauler Fiends, this guy tagging along, buffing up their large number of attacks. They got some nice attacks. It's like 6 tendril attacks, AP2, 4 fist attacks, strength, high strength, decent AP. Mauler Fiends gonna be quite nice on these guys. I can see fielding, several Forge Fiends just chilling back, firing with 2 Mauler Fiends holding the front for anything that wants to get, nearby and play. Might even make a Knight think twice about getting too close. Uh, you can buff the Helldrake as well. You're probably not taking a Hades cannon on the Helldrake, but, if you're up close with the Lord, or with Lord's Discordant, which you probably might want to be when we get looking at him, he'll be buffing that Helldrake attack. We'll assume Death Guard cannot take him. And they've got a lot of Demon Engines on Death Guard, so if they get to, that's a whole other story. But we'll assume this is gonna be base Codex only, so no Thousand Suns either. But yeah, I mean, Defilers, pretty nice buff for this guy. They're a hybrid unit, shooting melee. Been in an awkward spot, not being able to effectively move and shoot because of the BS -1 to hit, -1 to hit while moving. This guy's going to kind of help that. Going to make those melees more accurate. The Filer's looking pretty nice now. Forge Fiends are looking potentially really good. And then Mauler Fiend's looking pretty solid as well. You may see Spearheads, just running 6 Demon Engines with this guy. I'm tempted to do it myself. I'm going to have to pick up one of these guys at least. And probably a couple of Forge Fiends. I've got the Filers, I don't have Forge Fiends. Model I've always, kind of thought of picking up, just never got around to. I play a lot of Havocs, and I got Vindicators, Defilers, as I have, Predators. So I just never got around to getting the Forge Fiends. Might finally have to. Uh, and that's all we know about his abilities, other than he's supposed to be like a Warp Smith, Mauler Fiend, Lord, all shoved together. So he's probably also going to do more. He's probably going to heal other vehicles somehow. Let's figure out how. He may himself regenerate with, the Infernal Regeneration, which would be pretty nice. We know of a weapon choice. He gets to choose either an autocannon or a bell flamer. Now, this is pretty big. It's only an autocannon, but that would be the first long-range Chaos Space Marine HQ. So maybe more to come from, we don't know about that, but that does mean while he looks like he's probably geared for assault, he could just hang back with long-range Forge Fiends and Defilers and still contribute more than just his rule set. That autocannon plinking away isn't going to be like negligible. It's not going to be, it's not going to do work all by itself naturally, a single autocannon, but it'll help out. And if you are moving him forward with like Mauler Fiends or Defilers going to melee, that Bell Flammer is going to do work. AP 2 damage. It's definitely going to clear out at least some infantry. And we won't worry about, talking about any Forge World things with him, but mostly because I don't have enough info to go over all that. But, Corn Slaughterers with him, that sounds pretty good. Well, let's take a look at more of the model again. The Changlaive is likely to be a decent weapon, probably strength 6, maybe 7 at the high end, I would think. He's got tendrils coming off of him, so extra attacks from like the Mechadendrites or whatever. And then you've got probably the mount itself, which is like a Hellstalker, is what it's called. It's got a tail, and it's got legs. It's got mouth tendrils, mandibles. It's like 6 things. Makes me think of Starship Troopers, the brain bug with the little spike that comes out of its mouth and sucks out brains. Looks like 6 of those things. And it's got a weapon choice here, either a probe or what looks like a flamer of some kind. I mean, it might be a melta, probably a flamer. It's got the barrel, it's got the ignition portion there, underslung there with it. Probably a flamer, though I think some of the meltas, or at least like the magma cutters, have like a little lighter ignition source on them, so we'll have to see how that goes. But I mean, if you put the bell flamer on him with we'll just assume a regular flamer for the mouthpiece, conservatively, that makes them pretty nice pushing up. 2 assault flammers, 1 good range with the 18-inch bell flamer. Was looking probably be a decent number of attacks, and probably okay to good quality on those attacks. He definitely looks like he could be a frontline HQ choice like a Prince. So moving up with melee demon engines, or just hanging back with the shooty demon engines and give him the autocannon. Either way, he should do work and just use his melee as a backup for if things get close, or if you've got to push up to a mid-table objective. The key, I think, is going to be his wound count. We can assume certain things about his abilities. We can assume probably a 5+ in bowl. we can assume since he's getting the +1 to hit, he probably doesn't have a Lord ability or a leadership aura. Who knows what else he's got rule-wise? We don't know. Probably something to heal or curse vehicles with the Warpsmith comparison. So he's a demon agent himself, so you bring the new Master Possession with him to buff him or heal him or whatever. That sounds pretty good. But wound count, if it's 8 or 9, is probably where we want it to be at. If it's 10 or more, he'll probably get gunned down unless he just has some nice defensive abilities tacked on, or just for some odd reason a very high wound count, which I would find unlikely. But he's a Warpsmith, or competitor Warpsmith, so maybe a 2+ armor. I'm gonna guess just a 3+ armor though, looking at the armor itself, and the custom Hellstalker he's on, probably a 3. But we don't, until we get more information, it's gonna be hard to say exactly. But he looks like he's a good support HQ long range or close range that should also be able to hold his own to a degree. So if we assume, let's think about points. If we think low end, 150, higher end probably 220. But let's compare him to a prince. Let's say 180. So if he's 180, 3 up, armor save, 5 invul assumptions on all this. And then, he looks like he's going to have good melee. He's got flamers. He really looks like he's going to be a nice competitive spot for that prince alternative. So I'm looking forward to trying him out with some demon engines. I'm going to have to get some more demon engines myself. I might do the full 6 spearhead just because. Or I might just do, a spearhead of 3 and then, brigade attachment and take 3 heavies. Looking pretty nice though. Should definitely be able to clear up normal infantry squads pretty easily with his flamers and his melee. If you want to just hold him back with the autocannon plunking away, he'll still be able to clean up a melee, I believe. Once you need to move mid-table and get those objectives. He's looking pretty beefy. But can't wait to see more on him as we get stuff released. Hopefully, we'll get more information, maybe more abilities. Stat line would be amazing to get. We'll see. Definitely gonna have to keep my eye out for it. So, comment down below, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Have a good day.